Hey-o! Oh, let's get rid of that big empty screen there. There we go.
Hey.
Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm still thinking about that kielbasa. I love that instrument.
Well, welcome to episode 19 of Red Wings Rant, where tirades and impassioned pleas about your Detroit Red Wings now have a home.
They're yours. We don't want them. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you guys go and take them. Damn it. All right.
I think we got some business to get.
Mike, I think you could take some money from the rich. And
yeah,
let's do that.
Well, have you ever wanted to give yourself better odds on winning a bet? I know I would. Just bet against the Red Wings. Well, no, that's not what we have in store. All right, there's actual fun stuff, real money. Here we go. DraftKings Sportsbook. It's giving you a chance to do all that. All players who place a bet on Sunday night's basketball game between LA and Denver will have a hand in lowering the over-under on the game. You might be wondering, which LA team is it? Is it the Clippers? Is it the Lakers? It doesn't effing matter. It's an LA team battling the Denver Nuggets. My God. So for every 1,000 players who bet the over on Sunday night's game, the over-under will drop by 1 point. Now, you might be saying to yourself, that's how gambling works. And that's what I thought. But as Matt reminded me, no, they're actually doing the other thing. You're getting a bonus. It's going the other direction. So I'm wrong. You're wrong too. DraftKings is wrong, but they're going to let us reap the rewards. Oh, boy. So, every bettor who hammers the over in Sunday's Denver versus Los Angeles, it is the Lakers, but game helps to lower that game's over-under. The best part is that even as the line lowers, the odds remain at even money. That's right. You can double your money by hammering that over. Get hammered. That's what we're suggesting. Get hammered. If that isn't enough excitement for you, there's a huge title fight happening this weekend at UFC 258. Matt, take it away.
Don't forget, DraftKings Sportsbook also offers great odds and promotions on basketball, hockey, and so much more all week long. DraftKings is safe, secure, reliable. Yours truly is using it, and he's making that money. Woo! You can deposit and withdraw your funds at your convenience. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code THPN when you sign up to hammer the over on Sunday night's basketball game when LA takes on Denver. For every 1,000 people that bet the over in Sunday's game, the line will decrease by 1 point. Yes, this is your chance to improve the odds of the over hitting. So tell your friends and family this is a team effort. Hammer the over and improve your odds of doubling your money. That's promo code THPN for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, Michigan, or Virginia only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT, or in Virginia, call 1-888-532-3500.
All right.
And scene. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed that because, Mike, I actually enjoyed watching the Wingdings. Uh-oh. There's a cameo. What's going on? You don't want to be on the show? You just grabbing some snacks? Yep. The Doritos may or may not have been hiding in my office for the last few days.
Oh, now, line change question here. Are we talking Doritos or them new 3D Nasties? 3D Nasty Boys.
God, no? I was such a turd during the Super Bowl. Mom and Dad were over, and they were talking about those, and then Dad goes, "Have you tried those?" And I don't know why I did this, but I was like, "Yeah, like 20 years ago when they first came out." It's like, why did I need to?
Wow,
like, this is Matt throwing shade. Huh?
This is the society we're in, where we allow a person like Matt to navigate the earth and throw shade for 3D Dorito enthusiasts. Yeah. How dare you?
Right, like I needed to prove that I've had 3D Doritos before. What the hell is wrong with me? Um, so after that embarrassment, uh, everybody head on over to podpodcast.com/Red Wings Rants. You can check out all of our hot blogs, including our so-and-so for dummies, including, of course, we just put down the Florida Panthers, and we'll continue to pump all that stuff out as we have new opponents coming up. And, of course, we'll be getting into a little bit of the Nashville Predators. Actually, you know what, Mike? I just realized I forgot to take any notes on the Nashville Predators, so we're going to be going pretty high level here. We're going to be going macro. We're going to be going looking at records, goals for,
Big
goals
picture.
against. We'll subtract those two numbers.
Hockey, it's on ice.
No, I promise. We have actually a pretty good. I did a deep dive as much as I could during my 1-year-old's nap to take a look at Anthony Mantha. So what we have coming up is we want to take a look at what he's doing this year and what he did the last 3 seasons, including like what those projected point totals would have been if he played all 82 games and what he's projected to do this season if he was actually playing 82 games. It's not good.
Oh, no.
Quite a step back. And, of course, that's in reference to Mantha having been benched. So if anybody's rolling their eyes, we recorded our last episode, and it wasn't announced till right after we were done recording that he was benched for that game, and it wasn't like a health issue. It was something where maybe a lesson's being taught. So I also might want to talk about different ways to lead and get your opinion. And one of the big complaints is that with Anthony Mantha or with any NHL coach in relationship to a player is that really the only option you have is to bench a guy. And I have a couple of thoughts on that. But Mike, I got to do anecdote time. I thought this would be fun.
I love anecdotes. You know, that reminds me of a story. No, go ahead, man.
Today, I saw something that almost made me throw up on my 1-year-old. It was so disgusting. I'll let you know, too. A quick side anecdote. We've decided that the new game is spin. So we just stand in place and spin in circles. And today, Mike, I couldn't stand up because we spun so much last night. I was all day today was ready to throw up. Thank God my wife is a doctor because she actually worked on me when she got home today, and it was like poof, gone, all better. Like my wife, if I haven't said it before, I know I said it on the Prashant episode, but she's a DO, and it's where you manipulate different parts of the body, and it actually clears different things out. It's way more complicated than that, but she worked on my body for a minute. I'm all better. But before I got better, taking my baby girl over to Target to do a pickup. Fastest pickup in the world, Mike. Target is the best. I highly recommend if you're doing a pickup in a parking lot, do Target. They were walking out to my car before I parked. So we're coming home. Usually I stop at Big B and grab a coffee.
Those are the items you ordered, right?
I don't know. I still have to check my trunk. You didn't just ransack
some old lady walking outside of their shopping cart, right?
Well, they asked if I was Smith, and I just figured they had it right.
As for diapers, these happen to be Depends. That's all right. We'll get them on the baby. Not a big deal. All right.
We'll get you guys on next time around.
Yeah.
I usually stop at Big B, but I don't know. It was probably the dizziness, and I just drove home and decided, I'm passing Dunkin', and I'm like, all right, there's my afternoon coffee. It's Dunkin' Donuts. Grab a couple of donuts. Pass one back to the 1-year-old. And Mike, I know you've come over before, but there's train tracks 2 minutes away from my house. So it could turn the trip from the highway to my house from 2 minutes to 45 minutes. So we wait for this train to get by. And the whole time we're snacking. I'm so happy I bought donuts because I can give her a little bite. She can nibble on it and we can, she'll calm down. She's not going to get too worked out. And
you're gonna give her a sugary donut to calm down?
I'm telling you, it does work. Maybe she was over-energized when we got home, but Mike,
I gave her a little splash of coffee. It was like calming coffee, though. It was a calming donut and calming coffee. All right.
So to recap, it's like I have vertigo, It's it's like I'm Lucille 2 in Arrested Development. I feel queasy all day. We get home after the train gets by. I park in the garage. I bring all the Target stuff inside. I go to grab baby girl, and I can start to smell poop. And she's looking away from me. So I go, Addie, did you take a poo-poo? And she looks over at me, and her whole hand is covered in brown, and her face is covered in brown. And I nearly, like with the smell and the look, I almost threw up all over her, especially with the queasiness. Mike, I thought that she reached into her pants, pulled out her poo, and ate it. But what I forgot, because we waited for that train for 45 minutes, was that she was snacking on a donut the whole time. So thankfully, she doesn't know how to eat a donut yet, so she just smashed it into her face and then was like, oh, let's see what comes down. But good. Oh, my God. Mike, I'm telling you, it was the worst smell and image I've ever had combined in my entire life. These are the joys you get.
I wish you'd taken a picture.
I should have. Yeah, that would be great to post that right now, huh? But with what the WWE does to our Twitter account, maybe Addie would have come in and thrown in a report to you. Yeah, a report to YouTube. All right, Mike. So the thing, I think there also might be maybe donut, could be poop all over Anthony Mantha this season because we know he was just benched. And the question popped in my head, like, is there anything? Can we find anything that's the big difference right now? And first it was, is there a real difference in his play? So I can run through these numbers. I know they're in the notes, but Mike, you rolled your eyes. What's going through your mind?
Well, first of all, I want to defend your daughter. You said she just smashed a donut in her face, but Your Honor, as we heard in the testimony, Matt had to drive over a set of train tracks. So I think Addie was delicately eating her donut, and Matt hot-rodded over the bumps, boom, 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 and then face-planted a donut into her face. So I think she's in the clear on that one. As far as connecting it to Mantha, I think you bring up a fascinating question. How do you discipline a shitty team? Because what you would do on a good team, right, is punish them by taking away privileges. You don't get to be on the power play. We're going to lower your ice time for the game. But on a bad team, that kind of feels like a reward. So I would almost make Mantha play the penalty kill, the power play, and be on the first and fourth line. Like, really, make him do wind sprints. So I don't know, man. This is a tough one. He's definitely earned some sort of punishment, but it kind of feels like you're limited when I think I don't know if a disinterested, a secretly injured Mantha is probably a better option than 3/4 of healthy players on the Red Wings right now.
Well, let's do this over. Let's confirm that there's an issue. So we're looking at the season
confirm.
Between 2017 and 2020. He was on pace for an average amount of 58 points per season if he had played the full 82 games. And this year he's on pace for 44 points. And just to recap what his pace would have been last season if he had played all 82, it was a 72-point season. And that was one of the things, Mike, we made the argument in the offseason that Anthony Mantha could have gotten paid way more than he did. And that was based off of like points per 60 kind of thing. So, look at that. That is a massive, that's almost a 30-point step down for the top contract that Steve Yzerman has handed out. And I just kept diving because I kept wondering, is there something in regards to the analytics that we can find that it's like maybe he's being paired with bad lines. Maybe like as a whole, they're not getting enough chances.
Right.
What I found per 60, and I don't think this is significant enough, but from an individual standpoint, the expected goals that he's generating from his play this season, it's at .76. This is per 60. Okay. So just to kind of remind everybody that wouldn't be .76 per game. That is the per 60 minutes that he plays. And over the last 3 seasons, he averaged .86. So minor step down. I don't really look at that and go, that's it. Mantha's not thrown enough pucks at the net. Like it doesn't really seem significant. From an expected goals for, which measures his on ice numbers. So while he's on the ice, not just like what he's doing individually. So the expected goals for from this season and the last 3 seasons is 3.14. It's all tied. So you couldn't even make the argument that he had maybe better opportunity. Maybe he was playing with Larkin more often last season, and that's why he had more points. Just from an average standpoint, looking at what he's done so far this season, you could not point to the expected goals for as like a way to figure out why is Anthony Mantha not scoring.
I don't feel like it.
Even the shots per game are actually lined up too. The only thing like that kind of makes this a little bit worse, Mantha's offensive zone start percentage is way up this season than it has been over the last 3 seasons and including the season before. So he has actually started in the offensive zone more, and his team has won more faceoffs this season. So you can make the argument that he's been put in a better position this year. And then the on-ice shot percentage this year is way down. However, his own individual shot percentage, it is down a smidge from last season, going from like 12% down to 11%. Not really statistically significant in my book. And but this on-ice shot percentage with who's playing around him, way down. Also, the on-ice save percentage not doing so hot either. So I throw that out there because you and I have talked about it before. We can't really put a thumb on how you really want to grade like an on-ice save percentage. So this is what's going on with your goaltender when you're on the ice compared to somebody else. And the thing of it is, I've heard it thrown out over the last week that it's low for Mantha and it's putting him in a bad position because he has to play more defense. I would argue, Mike, that if you're talking about the same goaltender from the start of the game to the finish of the game, I don't think he's playing worse when Anthony Mantha's out there. I think it's the same goaltender. And if that on-ice save percentage is going down, I would make the argument that that's because of him and his line mates, right?
I'm gonna jump in just for a moment, and I think it would be hilarious to see Thomas Grice's shoulder slump every time Mantha crawls over the boards to start another shift. Oh man, I'm gonna let in some goals just to really give up. But I'd also, with stuff like that, I want to plead my case again. I'm gonna make this a short-lived podium point, but just I get that we want to focus on the puck, watch the play that, in the immediacy, but I really wish that we could get more opportunities to back it up, and kind of get like a full rink view more frequently, just so we could see plays develop, kind of see how, a couple plays in your own end can lead to something, going on the other side. And then, of course, to really bring this point home that you're going for here, we'd get to see the shoulder slump of our goalie. But,
I'm not saying that. I mean, the thing of it too. Oh, and one of the numbers I missed here is that his time on ice is actually up this season as well. And that's of course when he's actually in the lineup. So I'm not. That would be crazy if it included the game he didn't play. Yeah. So, like, the long story short here is that those same opportunities are there. The finish is not. And I struggle, and all of these numbers, I shouldn't say most, all of these numbers are 5-on-5 and where everything is calculated. So if things seem like they're not as high as they should be, that's what's missing, except for the point pace. The point pace is still, that includes everything. So that's where those numbers came from. So, Mike, if we are taking a look at this, and I could sit here and say, and I think we both see that special teams is quite an issue right now. Even last season, we had a much better power play than we do this year so far. And we heard Jeff Blashill, Mike, was questioned by Helene St. James. How does this power play get better? And he had the wonderful answer of Score. Hey, yeah, no kidding. Good on him, because honestly, this is another one of those questions that makes me mad from media types. Like, what is he going to say? I mean, sure, he could probably call out Bilesma, but ultimately, he's going to say Bilesma needs to find ways to put the puck in the net. Like, he's not going to. Well, here's what let me grab the dry erase board here, everybody. All right, so Mantha, he's starting on the right side over here. I'm thinking that if we move him over to the left side, I know, pretty crazy, right? No, none of that's going to happen. So, of course, he's going to be a douche and just say score. Like, people are giving him a hard time today. I say, bravo, Jeff. Give that crappy question. I give that a round of applause. It's very nice. All right, so I'm going to throw the two things out here. Those power play numbers come up. Not that a great percentage of Mantha's points last year came from the power play. If that power play comes up, Mantha just flat out looks better. That's the long and short of it. But since everything I'm pretty much talking about here is measuring the 5-on-5 play, I mean, we're just talking about the difference of he's getting the same opportunities. He's getting more time on ice. The lines that he's playing on are getting those opportunities, the scoring chances, the expected goals for is in his favor when he's on the ice. It's above 50%. So, Mike, we're just not finishing. I don't know how else to put it. And I'm not saying, I know the big word this week has been lazy. I don't know how you measure lazy, which just is somebody's eyeball saying, yep, that guy's lazy because he's shooting the puck on the net and it didn't go in. I don't know how you come to that. I don't know how you come to that conclusion. But what I'm saying is it's either the selection process, which I'm going to really hammer this down. If we're winning the expected goals for when Mantha's on the ice, that does make an argument in regards to high danger chances being in our favor. So the shot selection can't be that terrible. But I just it's so hard to pinpoint, and it might be one of those things where maybe the rest wasn't like he's ornery. Maybe the rest wasn't, he's got to get his attitude sorted. Maybe it was just like a rest. Maybe it was like, all right, in like the movies where the cop that's working too hard, he's got to take his vacation to get his mind back together. Like that could, honestly, like if we're looking at all these numbers and the analytics point towards a pretty similar, not so like statistically, not really significant differences here in what's going on season to season. And the only clear difference is the actual goals for, the actual assists going on the board. All right, there goes all my breath. I mean, right? Like we're just trying to figure, like, how do you do that? And I do want to also jump into that. And I brought up like top 5 ways that you lead and you motivate from a business perspective. So I thought we could play with those too. But I'm going to stop talking for a minute.
I'll just give you a quick break there. Just 2017, 18, 19, and then last season. Mantha, 80 games, 67, 43. And his power play points in those seasons went from 12 to 13 to 9. So he's arguably, 1 out of, every 8 games. And then he started to get it all the way up to like, started to get up to like 20% of games. He would get some sort of power play point. He had it, like 19. So he kind of found his sweet spot. And then this year, he's only got the one power play point in 13 games. So, one of the Red Wings' strengths this season, incredibly, has been 5-on-5 play. Because I think that gives them an opportunity to, roll out, 4 lines and, kind of focus more on defense, focus more on that hungry hippo mentality that we've been talking about. Gonna try and hashtag Triple H that one every episode in some capacity. But as far as the Red Wings power play being broken, maybe this is where you can help me out with some of the brain trust that's supposed to help put this together. I think other teams really focus on, you might have a pitching coach, hitting coach in baseball. Football, you definitely have coordinators. Basketball will definitely bring in like rebounding specialists, guys who can help teach 3-pointers. Whatever is going on with this power play, obviously Mantha needs to improve, right? He's paid like a top guy. He should play like a top guy. He shouldn't be a middling player statistically. He should not have spots where he's getting benched. But something with this power play design is also impacting a player who, we used to be able to kind of count on, fairly strongly. And it was not a small chunk of his statistics, year in, year out. So when, I don't know if this, you and I are not really on the bandwagon to, tell Blashill to hit the bricks, but at some point, there's got to be some way we bring in a guru who can kind of help set up and design a power play scheme. Because in the games we lose, it's almost like teams purposefully get penalties to watch us struggle with the man advantage.
I'm so happy you brought that up. It's like fouling Shaq and Ben Wallace.
Yeah,
it 1,000% feels like that right now because they know whatever they're doing before the game starts. They've figured it out. And I do have a video, too, if you want to see it, of us destroying an entire minute of our power play just trying to enter the zone.
Oh, God. I don't know if we want to subject people to a whole 60 seconds unless it's on a...
no, it's
sped up. Okay.
It's cut down to just every time we tried to enter, but it is 1/2 of our power play. So
yeah.
Starting right now, that starts with like a minute to go. There's one miss there. That was Gagne trying to bring it in. This one just barely gets to the center line. There's a drop back pass. I think this is Zadina trying to get it in, and he trips over, I think, Merrill.
I think he tripped over the blue line, which is weird because it's a flat part of the ice. Red Wings treat that like a curb.
There's just no opportunity there to even get a shot on that because they're not controlling the puck in their own zone. There's another answer, I think. I did make fun of Helene St. James, but it might be where she's trying to get Blashill to say, hey, we have to be like a hockey team that can get in our zone, get in the offensive zone. I got a deep dive I want you to do some homework on. I want you to look at, because I was pulling up Mantha's, power play stats past couple seasons, and there's definitely overlap with a guy that we didn't give enough credit to, but when he was in the lineup, things run a little bit smoother on the power play with that point man. And I want you to look up the overlap for when Mike Green was playing with Mantha on the power play. Now, nobody's saying he is the greatest player of all time, but my God, there was an impact there. I swear to God, it's in there, Matt. We're going to deep dive and go into that pool and maybe drown ourselves, but I think it's in there. But, a lot of these, we'll call them defensive defensemen, to put it kindly. I don't know if you really put a lot of confidence in their, ability to help kind of set up the play and quarterback it, because I think we got the numbers here as one of the worst power plays that they're not quite bringing it to the table like you'd like. Wow. Understatement of the year there.
Maybe it opens us up to our mailbag here.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, bringing it to the table, they can't even get in the house. They're not they're not even able to go through the front door. They might be They might be in a gated community. The power play is a gated community, and
there's definitely
the Red Wings left their key card at home. Yeah,
there's a bouncer at the blue line. We at capacity. Oh man, guess I'll turn it over in the neutral zone.
All right. So yeah, we did open it up today to our first mailbag. At Pete Rodig, he gave me applause on the first time I tried his name. He said I did a good job. So it's at Pete Rodig. He's known as the Professor on Twitter, and he's got Igor Larionov as the avatar. So he is grade A conversation on Twitter. He's as fun as it is to see every other person complaining about Blashill and how this team would be a Stanley Cup contender if we had another coach. Thankfully, Pete's not one of those guys. I guess just focusing on the power play here. He wanted to know, when Bert's back, what's the most dangerous power play unit you can put together, which is always tough when you're working. Like, again, we're coming back. My first excuse is going to be we're working with this roster, so I'm going to struggle here. Yeah. But I will say, like, immediately when I look at what I already put down, I already want to make changes to it. But I decided I'd look up a strategy as well for us to adopt. And honestly, yesterday I tweeted, like, watching the power play, I have no earthly clue besides just drawing a circle around the offensive zone. So let's say we actually get the puck in. Besides doing a circle around the offensive zone, I have no clue what our plan is. I have zero clue. Part of that is probably because we just don't get everything set up. But, yesterday was a great example of not even seeing a real setup of what's supposed to be going on. I threw out there what the Tampa Bay Lightning made famous in the 2010-11 season was the 1-3-1. I figure if anybody's going to know how to set up or at least have this in mind when they're putting their lineup together, and you look at the Gagnes that were picked up and Bobby Ryans to get some extra right-handed forward shots in there. Of course, Gagne didn't make he didn't make the cut, but I'm just throwing that out there.
Who's your 5?
I'm sorry?
Who's your 5?
All right, so here's where I kind of want to make the change just because of what a fun season he's having for me so far. I put in Hronek, but I want to put in Stetcher. I'm going to put in Stetcher because he is controlling the puck. Mike, he bounced the puck off Mark Stahl that he ended up putting in the net. That we haven't seen since Lidstrom was bouncing him off Chris Draper's face. So I'm going to give Stetcher. I'm going to switch it up. What I wrote down, I'm switching it up. Stetcher's getting the 1. My 3. So the 1 being who's in the point. And I'm going to do this too because I feel like the main complaint of the strategy is that you're really leaving your defenseman out there. And like you said, Stetcher actually starts out in everybody's mind as a defensive specialist. So if anybody's going to be able to control that first one out of the 1-3-1, I'm going to give it to Stetch. Zadina, Larkin, and Bobby Ryan. So that way I'm getting shots from left-handed shots, right-handed shots. We have the most dangerous winger shot, at least from what we saw going on in Europe from Zadina. And we also, I'm playing the numbers of who's having a pretty good looking shot percentage season, especially at the start of the season. He's definitely cooled off, but I'm going Bobby Ryan in there. Part of it is also just to slight Anthony Mantha, just for funsies. And of course, you can't hurt to have Larkin in the middle there. And then right up front is Mike, he's our power play specialist. I feel like it's Bertuzzi. Like he comes back, that's where everything seems to turn back on. He's leading the team in power play points, goals, however you want to dissect it. The guy knows what's going on right in front of the net. He is the dynamic that he brings is so special. Like you term him as like that net front presence, but he can do so. He could do so much. He could switch out and be that guy that's in the middle in front of the net. He does have the shot. He's got the hands. And, Mike, he's got the missing teeth to prove he can take those pucks to the face. So I'm going 2s up front. I don't know if you want to throw any difference out there, any change, if you do want to throw in Hronek instead of
I got a lineup for you.
Yeah, go for it. I hope there's some trades involved.
Patrick Kane, no. I just got to grind those gears over there. This power play, obviously we're putting the 2s in there. There's no debate there. He actually, it feels like he has a purpose whenever the power play starts. I know it feels like he's probably on an island when he's out there trying to score, but I'm putting the 2s out there. Matt, I can't not put the captain. He's, our fastest player. I got to put Larkin out there. But Matt, it starts and it ends with one man. At this point, I have confidence in one guy making plays and not embarrassing himself. And
is that our individual expected goals leader, Mark Stahl?
not quite. Oh, how did I omit him? Oh, shame on me. No, Matt, it's Zadina. I can't not include him in my forwards. And then I don't have any confidence in our defensemen being able to kind of lead the pack in quarterback. So I'm putting Bob Ryan back there. Give it another shot. And at least if the poo-poo hits the fan, I have another guy who can at least fire it from a blue line. And then I'm low on options. I feel like I need to have one defenseman out there. I'm not feeling the Hroner. Matt, I am going to put the DeKaiser out there. Little bit of a reach, but I got a real juicy power play number 2 for you.
DeKaiser, a little bit of a reach. That's nice. He's always been known for his long reach. That is.
I'm ready for
anybody.
I'm going to go first for power play number 2. Now,
right.
Some people might say, "Oh, you burned up all the juice on power play 1. What are you going to do with power play number 2?" Don't worry, I got a plan. All right.
Are you going to put the juice in there?
No, I'm not putting the juice in there, man. I'm going to stir the pot, though. I'm going to stir the pot. So, Matt, I am so tired of watching these power plays. It's like they can't get a start. Every hockey goal has started with a face-off, and for that reason, I am rewarding power play time to Mr. Glenn Denning himself. Matt, he's going to center my second power play unit. I'm tired of losing face-offs. At least to start, we'll have control of the puck. He's dominating the entire league right now and winning face-offs, and by God, we're going to be good at something. Matt, number 2, I got to put Fabry out there. He's not quite the playmaker that Zadina is. He's not quite lightning in a bottle like Larkin. But I feel good about him trying to make some plays. That's where Mantha's going to come in. Now, Matt, I'm pretty much out of forwards. I'm not putting Filppula in there. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to put your boy Hronek in there, but I got a special guy at number 5. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
All right. Matt, I'm putting in the menace himself, Mr. Cholowski, Dennis the Menace.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
tired of him riding that taxi squad. Matt, he is getting time on the power play. He showed some glimmers. I've actually got highlights of him scoring power play goals. Matt, I'm done with these defensive defensemen. I want a guy who's willing to put his balls in a salad shooter and get us a power play point. Because to this point, nobody else is really doing it.
We're going to lead the league in shorthanded goals against. And
you know what? I'm willing to roll those dice. And to help him out a little bit, I still have Glenn Denning out there. He's my ace in the hole. So he's a little bit of a defensive forward. Win the face-off, get back, play a little D. And then, see if Fabry and Mantha and my boy Dennis can get up to. What kind of trouble they can get into.
So I probably should have put in a right-handed stick with mine.
Before you put yours in, the question was the most dangerous power play line. It wasn't specified if it was dangerous for the other team or for our team. So I think I picked the most dangerous power play line.
Right. All right. So should I definitely need to adjust because I got to throw Darren Helm in there then. No. All right. So since
that's just stupid. Just stupid. At least Glenn Denning made sense. Don't put Helm in there. All right. Go ahead. So
this is what I have down. I got to throw in Hronek's just going in there. And then that's my 1, my 3, Mantha, Nemestikov, and Fabry. And then my other one to match up with my 2Z, who I'm saying is
Dennis.
No. My B- version of Tyler Bertuzzi is Giovanni Smith.
Ooh, I thought about it.
Yep. Tenacious Junkyard Dogs, putting him in there. We just saw him score from right in front of the net. He's got great hand-eye. The reaction is drop of a hat. But
he's as elegant, playful as a pussycat.
I mean, Mickey Redmond said it, that he's beefed up and he's ready to throw everybody around. So I'm all about that. So put him out in front. There's my 2 power play lines. Boom. And that I hope we did good, Pete. I hate to think like right now he's just, unsubscribe. Just nope.
I think he's opening up some Cholowski highlight videos on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Wow, he's making. Yeah, I like that Chalowski kid. Well, now I feel bad. I put him on all those polls earlier of who to get rid of. All right. So we did have 2 other topics, but we're at 40 minutes. Probably didn't help. I told a 15-minute donut story.
Everybody wants the poo-poo donut story, man. I don't think that was a mistake at all.
So, Mike, we have Nashville up next. They are 5-8 and 0, which puts them at 10 points total. We're at 8 points right now, Mike. We have the opportunity to take the 7th spot in this series of 2 games.
Oh, Mike, no.
Nashville ain't doing so hot. We're both, like, our goal differentials, we're really, like, making a case, like, easily that this is the worst division in the league if it wasn't for Ottawa and Vancouver. That's probably the big battle right now, like Nashville and Detroit versus Ottawa and Vancouver in regards to goal differential. But we're at -19. Nashville's at -15. And then over in the Scotia North, you've got Ottawa at -27, which they really are looking like the worst. They are the Detroit Red Wings this year. They look that bad. And Vancouver, that just, they just can't make Hughes work on D. I don't know what happened there, but all of a sudden he's a negative expected goals for player. But anyway, Nashville is our version of the Vancouver Canucks. So we got to put it out there, guys. I think there's a good shot. That with the Red Wings playing better, and one of the things we didn't get into today, so maybe I can just share this stuff on our at bodpodcast.com/Red Wings Rant. How all of our stats are actually, the expected goals for is turning in our favor. You can actually see, besides that us getting destroyed by Tampa, everything kind of trending upwards. So we are moving in the right direction from the beginning of the season, of course, which was, even when we lost to Tampa, wasn't as bad as we got destroyed in possession against Carolina. So since that game, we've been trending upward, and this is our opportunity, I think, to face. I mean, it's easy to say, like, results-wise, worst team in the division besides us. This would be hilarious, Mike. This would be to take over this spot against Nashville. I don't know. It would just be fun to watch the chaos. And while I usually watch Red Wings games, and we're always hoping to get best chance at the entire draft pool, which we also need to discuss that they might not do a draft this year.
Oh, no.
Some point. Yeah, at some point we need to start that discussion. But I think the more chaotic result in these upcoming 2 games is us going 2-0 against Nashville. I'm going to say we're coming out of there with 1 win, because we really are. We're stepping it up game by game. Stuff's coming together. You got to think, too, with everything we threw out about Mantha, if we're saying he's just not finishing, but the chances are there, and we made the, if we're going to sit there and make the argument that goalies are the same goalie for 60 minutes and their shoulders don't slump when Mantha comes out there. Yeah. We're going to say that Anthony Mantha is still the same Anthony Mantha that he has been in the past 3 seasons. And those numbers are going to kick up. That power play is going to kick up. And who better, Mike, to do it against than the stinky old Nashville Predators?
A lot of confidence. I mean, we're only a couple goal differential away from them, man. We're coming. We're coming for you, Hulk Hogan. Get ready.
All right, folks. I guess
I'm not betting on those games. I'm not touching those.
I will say I've had a lot of success, everybody. Wait till the first period is done with games and hit up those over-unders. I have made a ton of money this past week. I'm telling you, that you get a full period to see what's going on. And I feel like teams aren't really making the adjustment going into the second and third periods. Mike, I was this close to coming out with $400, and 2 empty net goals screwed me over. So I still made 80. But 400 would have been pretty nice. I probably would have just bought an Xbox right then and there, just for funsies, just to have.
Break it.
That's for you, Pete. Pete's been asking us to get an Xbox.
Eat a donut, make it poop its pants so they go flying over a train track.
Yeah, we do stand for Sony, just to be completely honest. But all right, Mike, anything else you want to throw in there before we wrap her up?
Just the hope that your daughter doesn't have these traumatic events, and for the rest of her life, every time she goes over a train track, she poops her pants.
There it is, folks. Poop your pants when you head over those train tracks. All right,
you just feel relax for a second, then you bounce on the chair, and I can see it.
Or you know what we forgot? Let me do this real quick. Everybody, don't forget to check out Habs Nightly on the Hockey Podcast Network.
You know what? I'm just so heated because of what you're telling me, because I do not want to live in a world where a Kraft dinner is the fucking substitute to a good macaroni. You're putting powder.
No. Macaroni, as you call it, is a substitute for KD.
God. Oh my God! Go to Italy.
If you
crack
ask,
open some fucking Kraft dinner.
No. If you ask any Canadian, would they rather have macaroni or KD? They will tell you KD is the best. It is superior. It is the fucking national treasure, and it is the greatest dish in Canada.
I'm Mason Dixon, a Habs fan stuck in Leafs country, with my co-host Corey, a southern beauty trapped deep in the bayous of Louisiana. With over 2,500 kilometers of separation, we've still managed to come together to give you Habs Nightly, your hub for Habs content.
While I don't know what a kilometer is, I do know Habs hockey. Don't let the 10-year age gap or distance fool you. We bleed Blue Blanc at Rouge, and we're known to serve up hot takes along with our unique charm.
Join us every Monday and Thursday for hockey talk, ref rage, and your daily dose of Southern ignorance. Only on the Hockey Podcast Network.
KD is the superior macaroni and cheese.
Get the fuck out of here. You put ketchup on your fucking macaroni, you nasty kid?
Yes, I fucking do.
This has been Habs Nightly. You guys have a great night.
I thought Sasha Banks was about to come out.
We don't condone ketchup, that use of ketchup in that way. That is the official stance of Red Wings Rant. But everybody, apologies to Habs Nightly, since we're throwing this out at the end of the show. But we had such a great conversation about Anthony Mantha. We didn't even get into the 5.
We didn't even know who's that Pokemon.
The 5 ways to motivate employees.
Oh, damn it.
All right, well, we got to go watch NXT and AEW. So go find us at BOD Podcast if you're a wrestling fan. And we'll be chatting that up. And then, hey, we'll go live tomorrow, too, at 8:30 talking pro wrestling. So find us there. And it's at bodpodcast.com. It's bodpodcast.com/Red Wings Rant for all the hockey stuff. And if you go to bodpodcast.com, on the homepage is the shop button. You click that. You can support us and look pretty sweet and all your Red Wings Rant stuff. There's some cool stuff coming too. I just got to get the approval from that man right there that he's okay with me posting it. And then you guys can have some cool t-shirts that don't all just say Red Wings Rant. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Have a good one.